Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. So, it's been an interesting 72 hours ever since this issue happened where basically the game was crashing on me for almost every single cutscene. Well, maybe not that frequently, but it was pretty frequent, and unfortunately I had to stop the show once we got to a point where I could not continue. Uh,
Emergency announcement. We have confirmed the presence
Oh my
of
goodness,
powerful
my
dolls in the
timing.
vicinity of the Stia region.
We are going to
Please prepare
we're
for
gonna
deployment.
ignore that because we've got other stuff we gotta take care of here. Anyway, basically basically at this point things seem to be stable, but the only way to do that was effectively to blow away my Windows installation. So I have no idea what ultimately was the problem. For a while, it was looking like it was actually a hardware issue, but no, blowing away Windows actually
Emergency
did
announcement.
take care of the
We have
issue here.
confirmed the presence of powerful dolls in the vicinity of the Stia region. All
I'll
Arch
never
defenders,
understand
please
why
prepare for
Sega felt the
deployment.
need to make this message play twice, and unfortunately, we're gonna hear other messages here as we go here. But anyway, so yeah, at this point, let's just go ahead and get started. In terms of how this episode is going to end up in the end, I'm basically going to combine both streams into a single thing. I'll do some editing. I'll probably even cut this little part out here. But I just wanted to catch everybody up that wasn't around for the stream that started last weekend, so at least you know what's going on and why. Basically, everything in Kavaris, Ritem, and Aelu is already done in terms of the story here, so let's try this again, and if this happens to crash on me, I'm just going to immediately stop the stream. Alright, so let us check in with Manon here.
Oh, I didn't know you were here.
Why don't you go into the camp?
No, I don't really need to right now.
Oh dear. Okay, the camera position. Where even is this? I'm not sure. Is this like inside my tail or something? I really can't tell.
It looks like the Ark's defenders here are busy, as usual. At least their staffing and supply situation seem to be a little better. But now that they're operating deep within Stia, I'm sure their responsibilities have increased. And yet, I haven't heard a single complaint from anyone. Each and every one of them has an important role to play, and that keeps their spirits up. I've seen all of this somewhere before.
Do you mean in Aelio Town?
Yeah. Aelio Town used to handle the defense of all outlying areas by itself. It was responsible for the entire area on the other side of the mountain from Central City. And, as you know, they did it all with very few Arcs defenders. It was hard enough just to patrol that area, let alone maintain equipment and prepare food. They gave it their all every day. And on top of that, they never knew when dolls might attack. Sometimes they would be up all night defending against a sudden assault. And yet none of them ever complained or felt sorry for themselves. In fact, it seemed like they enjoyed life to the fullest. I didn't realize it at the time, but they were all so focused on playing their respective parts. And that's why they were able to give their all to everything they did. They never lost sight of their dream for a peaceful world.
Well, again, that's pretty much all they ever knew. So it's interesting that you're talking in this way, but then again, I've had my suspicions about you for some time.
Now we're the ones who have to carry that torch. And I was reminded of that responsibility just now, while looking at the Stia camp. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on for so long.
I wonder what's up with the dithering that's going on at the bottom. It's interesting that Sega continues to choose these angles where it basically intentionally just makes it look like the game is not looking right or something there. It's very odd. And hey there, Rooks. Actually, not that far. You're about. I started about 5 minutes ago.
So much has happened. Sometimes I overthink everything. What we've been through, and what we will go through. I still need to process all these feelings. I'll see you later.
Okay, so let's take a look at the map here. So we've got several other points where we're gonna have to go to here. Got a couple over here, and then one over by the tower quest. Why don't we head for that one then? And we'll just do a quick warp by hopping in and hopping back out. Okay, and you are right over here. Who is this? It's Aina.
Oh, it's you.
Hey there, Lord Samuel. Taking a little break?
Yeah, this seemed like the perfect spot for it. Stia sure is a crazy place, huh? Nothing but jagged rocks and hardly any trees or grass anywhere. And dolls all over the place. I don't think the old me would have lasted even a single day out here. But here I am, with the two of you, somehow. I guess that means I've gotten a little stronger, right?
I'd say you still have a long way to go, but you've definitely improved.
Oh, well, I guess if you say so, it must be true. You know, lately, I've been reading Manon's journal a lot. Especially everything she's written about enemies. She writes about stuff like how each enemy behaves, and when they're vulnerable to attack.
You think maybe it'd be a good idea to publish that to everybody else?
In the past, I would just sort of skim and get the general idea. But now I really drill down on it and try to find ways to put it into practice.
I'm sorry, did my head bobbing just cause that light to shift there?
And by doing that, I've kind of come to understand some things. Like about what Manon would do in various situations. I kind of see which scenarios she might have problems with. And I find myself thinking, what would I do in that situation?
Yeah, Lord Samuel, you just missed when basically, I think my tail is completely covering up the camera in another scene.
So, I feel like I'm finally starting to find my own fighting style.
all about learning the basics and building from there.
Yeah. I'm trying out lots of different stuff. I've learned that there's always more than one way of doing things.
I know that's one of my tentacles doing that.
I wouldn't be where I am now without Manon. I hope I can repay her someday. And you too, of course. That's why I have to keep working hard to keep up with you two. Okay, break time is over. I just thought of a new combat tactic. I can't wait to try it. Well, see you later.
Yeah, I think Sega just needs to position their cameras a little bit better than the way they do it currently. Alright, so, up next, there were some over there. Let's hit the Ryuker device real quick. And we have Kanui over here.
Ah, I didn't know you were here. There are far fewer enemies here now, but we still need to patrol the area. Do you happen to have a moment? Thank you. I have a question. It's in regards to Commander Glenn. In all honesty, what is your impression of him?
I'd say he's strong.
Huh? Yes, I suppose he is. There is no stronger Arcs defender. I must say, I wasn't quite expecting that answer. He is a man of few words, and that can often be misinterpreted. It can be even more pronounced when he's focused on an operation. But the truth is that he takes very good care of those under his command. He always takes point in enemy territory, and he stays behind to guard our retreat. He says it's the best way to reduce casualties. That's the reason why his troops trust him implicitly. And that deep trust is what allows us all to put our lives on the line for the mission. However, I confess that there are times I wish he was a little more approachable. Especially when he meets new people. A member of the Alio supply unit once shared her impression of the commander with me. She was afraid that she might not make it out in one piece if she were ever to upset him. She was always easygoing with everyone else, yet strangely stiff around the commander. I did think it was strange, but I'm glad it was cleared up before it caused a problem.
I'm trying to think of who we know that it might have been. I guess let's go with who was it.
I believe her name is Citri.
Huh. I wouldn't have expected someone from the seasonal events to actually have played a role in the story. what little role this is, just being mentioned, that is.
If, by some chance, you happen to know her, please reassure her.
And again, wasn't she the one that told us about the strange weather pattern on the planet? Or, well, whatever this is.
The commander is not actually scary. He simply looks stern and doesn't speak much. You're one of the very few Ark's defenders that Commander Glenn trusts. I truly hope you'll continue to be someone he can count on. Thanks for everything.
Brooks, I see what you mean by Glenn PR. Yeah, they're just... It's a situation where they need to show, not tell, at this point. Alright. Let us move on. There was another one in the area. All the way out here, it looks like. And yeah, if you if you didn't know, I had picked up a little ice walk in here.
We are beginning a counter-offensive against dolls appearing in the Stia region. We request the participation of all Ark's defenders.
Hey there, exiled Bowser. Alright, we got Glenn over here.
Oh, it's you.
Is there something interesting here?
Nope. Just out on patrol. There's nothing strange about a commander taking his turn at watch duty. Even if Kanui doesn't like it. Supplies have been getting through to us from Aelio a lot more easily. But we're still short-handed against all these enemies. The fatigue will start to build up. I figure if I've got the energy for it, it makes no sense for me to sit around in a chair all day. That's all there is to it.
I guess we'll go if that's pretty considerate towards those under your command.
That's just what a commander does. Well, Central didn't. Crawford didn't want me coming here, but I came anyway. The people at this camp are all here because they agree with my vision. I didn't even ask, and they all volunteered. Quite a few of them even left behind family in Aelio. They threw away everything they had. Follow me on this crazy mission. I don't intend to just throw them away. They need to be well rested, to give everything they've got to fighting. It's really the least I can do for them.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Why? I guess we haven't heard about anything like this, but doesn't it just make sense to just swap troops out from time to time and like send them home? Don't you need to rest sometimes?
I rest when I can. Well, I need to get back to it. I still have a little way to patrol. I doubt you'll have any problem with the enemies around here. But don't get careless. You never know when dolls might appear. I'm not interested in seeing your name on a memorial anytime soon.
Keep in mind, levels are just a thing used to accommodate the player. There's no such thing as levels to the people of this world, or really anywhere in the Phantasy Star series. Alright, let's see where our next point is. A little bit up from Stia Camp, so let's head up there. Well, if that's trying to explain it in PSO2, then I would say then being able to change your frames per second is canon in terms of Phantasy Star Universes. That's something that you were able to do in Phantasy Star Universe's PlayStation 2 version in Japan, if I remember correctly. Anyway, Ida.
The heat in Rattan was dry. It's all sticky and yucky here. You always put on a brave face, but aren't you hot?
I'm a cast. What do you expect? I'm fine.
Oh, okay. I guess you Meteorim just handle extreme temperatures well. I mean, it's nice that we get to travel to so many different places, but...
Not to mention, you know, really anybody who has, who's able to control photons should be able to regulate their temperature just fine. Although you were having trouble in Kavaris, if I remember correctly.
Glenn and his troops have been living here a long time now. Of course, the dolls here are tough too, but the biggest battle is against the heat. Even after a tough fight, they can't even rest and recover when it's this hot all the time. It's really like they're just fighting non-stop. It'd be nice if they could at least take it easy while they're at the camp.
Well, maybe they should grab some ray photons and just throw them into the camp somewhere. Wouldn't that help?
I guess they probably don't need our help, but still. Do you think there's anything we can do for them?
Something to lift their spirits?
Something to lift their spirits. Like what? Oh, what about if I make some food for them again? Would that work? They're always eating that hard bread, but I'm sure they'd enjoy a good meal once in a while too.
That'd definitely be a good idea.
Yeah, that might work. Thanks for the advice. I better start gathering up some ingredients then. Let's see. Last time I made something hot because they were physically and mentally exhausted. But this time, I think something cool and refreshing is in order. I could probably put Kavaris fruits and vegetables to good use. I think I have an idea. Off to find ingredients.
Yeah, that'd be I'm trying to think. Yeah, I agree. I don't think there are any accessories like that. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything where that's been released aside from maybe the thing for Phantasy Star Nova players where basically their outfits started to look damaged. But aside from that, no. Nothing's coming to mind for me. Alright, let's see what else. There is one... Alright, so I'm guessing this is inside Drayson Plant, but if not, then we'll hop out. Okay, not on this floor. Oh, there it is, up there. Hey there, Kanui.
Oh, I didn't know you were there. I just remembered something I wanted to discuss with you. Tell me, what were your thoughts the first time you saw all of this?
Well, if you want me to be honest, I think I saw several piston-like devices in the area. I saw tanks that were similar to the ones that we saw in Ramaquad. Although in this case, they are red in color, and inside of them, there appear to be dolls being created. It's interesting the sideways air, the sideways boosts that are around the area. Although I suppose that's kind of that's just to help the player get around. Although oddly, they're not exactly in the most beneficial spots for the player. And then you got these invisible boxes, which are just like, okay, why? And then, you know, well, no, that pretty much covers my first look. Anything else would be after my first look. I had seen it before.
I see. At Maquad in Reten, correct? You know, Glenn's scout team was the first to discover this place. I was a part of that team. Dolls do not only come from above, they're also produced somewhere on Halpha. That's what Hibana said. But I never thought that it would look like this. The commander originally formed the scout team to capture this place as soon as possible. Incidentally, what did Crawford have to say about this place before you came here?
Yeah, he really didn't say anything. Nothing.
I see. Maybe he thought it would simply be more efficient for you to see it with your own eyes. Well, unfortunately, as I'm sure you can tell, we've hardly even begun to start researching this place. But we do know that this is an energy plant. We know the plant's core system and the doll's production line are in fact linked. And that this plant's energy is distributed throughout all of Halpha.
Pretty much confirming my my piston theory there. At least to some degree. Granted, we haven't seen these things move up and down, but even here you can kind of see where where the thing could move up and down there on the poles going up and down. You know, provided that those connectors weren't there.
We also know that simply destroying this production line could affect the entire system. And that's about it. We intend to research and carefully analyze the system's configuration, and then shut the production line down gradually. Well, that is our plan. It looks like the tech team on assignment here from Alio can finally get to work on everything. At first, we thought that simply destroying anything in sight would take care of it all. But it turns out it's not that easy. So, for the time being, we have to wait before we can declare total victory in this region. We sincerely appreciate your continued support until that day comes. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. It's, Huh. This is interesting. I've never noticed, any kind of, like, siren that we're hearing here in the area before. I suspect... Let's see, is this just weather-related, I wonder, though? Okay. Alright, so up next, looks like we've got one out here. Felusa Ridge 1. Hey there, Glenn.
Yuha. Did you come all the way here by yourself?
Enemies here aren't that tough.
Pretty confident. Anyway, this place reminds me of the battle that day. What did Crawford come here for? He just showed up, wreaked havoc, and left.
He did it to settle the score.
You mean with Niels? Or do you think with me?
If I had to guess, maybe with you, but that's probably because it's unlikely he would have known that Niels Stia itself is going to pop up in that last moment.
You know, you throw me off my rhythm somehow. I can't figure you out. But it doesn't matter. I'll tell you about our past. Crawford and I, we used to fight together. But then, we had a falling out over something.
Yeah, we basically already know this story.
Kanui already told you, right?
Ibana.
Yes, that's right. We decided to go our separate ways after Hibana died. Crawford stayed in Central, and I chose to come here to fight. We understood dividing our efforts like that wasn't exactly sustainable. But we couldn't stop each other. Just playing defense doesn't solve the problem. And not having anywhere to go home to after solving the problem makes no sense either. We had no choice but to do our best with the situation that we had. Troops, weapons, and other supplies. All just gradually dwindled. I really don't know where we'd be right now if you three hadn't shown up when you did. I'm sure Crawford and I will have a chance to hash it all out someday. But not right now. Because our battle still isn't completely over yet. That was long-winded, but I gotta get going.
Yeah, we really didn't know, we didn't learn too much new in that, unfortunately. Alright, let's see what's up next. So, we've got one outside the new area. Let's head for Kanui in the back first.
Oh, hello there. Well, what brings you here?
What about you?
I am currently on watch duty. There are still quite a few enemies all throughout the region. In fact, there are two powerful enemies in particular that haunt this area. They would be quite a handful for an inexperienced defender. But all these massive structures being underground like this, it's incredible.
But had you already heard about what was here?
No. I honestly had no idea until Crawford finally shared the information. This place was the final objective of our overall strategy, much like yours, I imagine. But the ultimate goal was always to defeat the dolls. We expected powerful enemies, but nothing could have prepared us for encountering Darkfalls. I shudder to think what might have happened if we had gone in there without you three. Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention something. It turns out the research team found Darkfalls' data in the nerve center control room. According to their report, Darkfalls had been collecting records of battles all over Halpha.
Interesting. Alright, under someone else's orders?
If so, that of course begs the question of whose orders?
So she is of the same mind then. As I said before, I think I know who it is. It's just a question of when are we going to see them? When are we going to see Mother Brain?
We don't know for certain. But we do know that Darkfalls was studying ARC's combat strategies and tactics. It would have been even more fearsome had we not intervened when we did. I suppose we should be grateful that we were able to act before it was too late. Crawford has been apprised of all of this, of course. I have no doubt he will be able to find a solution. It may take a while. In the meantime, we will continue our research here as well. My apologies. I've gone on long enough. I must return to my duties. Well, good luck to you.
Alright, and then it looks like the last one is at the new place, so let's warp up there. It's possible that could be true as well. I'm just interested in finding out the truth, but, you know, this just screams Mother Brain to me, given everything that I know about the history of the series. Because this would not be the first time where machinery has gone haywire, and there's been some sort of plot behind it, so... Anyway, Manon.
Who's there? Oh, it's you.
I seem to have a habit of sneaking up on you, don't I? Are you feeling unwell?
No, I'm fine.
Some kind of mother entity, yeah.
You know, I'm reminded of it every time I come here. That battle with Niels Stia. And I think of that Ark's defender who sacrificed his life, protecting someone like me. It's not fair.
It's not your fault.
But he had his own life, too. His own dreams. His own hopes. Just like all of us. And I took all of that away from him. Forever.
Excuse me. I can't get behind that line of thinking. Forgive me. I overheard you talking. Will you allow me to explain some things about us? We have a simple rule. Never leave anyone behind. In battle, it's not the enemy that you need to fear the most. It's the loss of trust between squad mates.
Hello, I guess I just popped into there.
It's having to wonder if you'll be left behind, if you get cut off or wounded in battle.
And yeah, I'll agree with you as well there, Rooks.
That kind of fear will hang over your head. This rule of ours is meant to eliminate that fear. We all know that we've got each other's backs. And that allows us to perform our duties free from worry. The defender who died protecting you was only following that rule. He refused to leave you behind. Because of that, more lives would be saved as a result. I'm sure that's what he believed.
Can't guard for crap, though, that's for certain.
And that is indeed how things turned out.
That's only because I was overcome by rage.
What counts in battle is the result.
By the way, Sega, can we talk about your audio balancing here? Conway is coming in way louder than you are, Manon.
Protocol is important too, but how many enemies we kill and how many of us survive. That's what really counts at the end of the day. If our losses are heavy, it's Commander Glenn who shoulders that responsibility. And me, as adjutant. So, he was only doing his duty. That's why I want you to hold your head up. Please.
Conway.
I have nothing more to say on the matter.
Thank you.
I hope this was not presumptuous of me.
Might have been better if you had done this in a different cutscene, honestly.
Now, I must return to my duties.
Working through my feelings is not an easy task, but...
I mean, honestly, it feels like she followed us up the hill at that point, just to butt in on this cutscene.
Conway is right. I need to hold my head up so I can move forward. I have to carry the torch. For the Ark's defender who gave his life for me, too.
Okay. Alright, so it looks like that's it here in Steel. Let me just make a quick loop here just to make sure nothing else has shown up in any of the other areas. But yeah, that was really weird that Conway just kind of butted in as we were trying to chat with Manon there. Whoops. Okay, nothing in Caveris. And then here in Aleo, I don't see anything. Last up is Ritem. Yeah, no kidding, Rooks. This... I've said this before, but at this point, this feels like the Manon show featuring Aina. The fact that at least finally we got thanked over in Aleo is at least a step in the right direction, but it's a step against a mountain at this point, in terms of how disrespectful the storytellers have been towards the player. Alright, so it looks like that's it. Yeah, so we learned a little bit here. Nice to get a bit of confirmation about what's been going on in those plants underneath. But something else I want to bring up, now that I've had a chance to think. So, we've got this thing here, which I've been saying this whole time is an engine. Now, let's think for a moment here. We know that Central City has a central cannon. Unfortunately, we can't see it from here, so I'm looking at nothing. Okay, so Central City has its cannon. Lost Central also has a cannon built into its structure. And then they recently found those parts underneath Ritem that also are basically central cannon parts. So, what if they're not intended to be used as cannons? What if those parts are actually meant to complement this thing here, and what we're actually supposed to be using them for are 4 engines, effectively? I know we really can't see it from here, and it's kind of the wrong time of the day to see this, but I made an observation yesterday whereby I was looking at one of the planets that was nearby, and I had the thought that if we're really on a world ship, then there's the possibility that while this engine may be burning, what if this engine isn't enough to escape that planet's influence? Say we're only able to maintain orbit. And what if we need all 3 of the cannons plus this thing firing in order to actually push us out of orbit? It's something that's even a bit more distant than anything I've been saying up until now, but it's still an idea I wanted to get out there, because if that's the case, that could explain a few things here, including basically why the planets are always the same when in terms of this world that we're on. Why they never seem to change in terms of what we're seeing. Because if we were really flying through space, then we should not be constantly seeing the same planets in the sky. We certainly should not have seen Gyra again last year if we were floating through space. So, again, that leads me to believe that there could potentially be some sort of orbit going on. And firing all 3 of the cannons plus keeping this thing running could be how to escape. That being, if that's actually what's happening. It's just something I wanted to get out there, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, so with the remaining time here today, I did want to check out this battle area here, and see what's going on inside. Let me turn off the photo room. And let's head inside the Newsom plant. Alright, looks like we got a Ryuker device over here. Let's hop on that. Alright, I'm gonna hop into... Let's hop into this one that's 3 out of 8, so that way if anybody wants to join me, they can go ahead and hop in as well. Oh, whoops! I didn't have the whatchamacallit on. Newsom plant, here we go. Okay, here we go. So, 3 out of 8.
PSE burst.
Oh. Oh, it was in this room. Okay, cool. Alright, so that looks like those are bombs that are just going to blow up from time to time. And this looks like this was a Forte PSE burst. Since we got all these gold enemies around.
PSE Climax.
Alright, we got a Nexalio. Well, as a hunter, trying to dodge through it really isn't the sort of thing I really should be doing. I should be using it to get counterattacks. Like that.
PSE Encore.
Nice, going into an encore. I'll take it. Well, that's certainly a fun way to start things off in here.
PSE Climax.
Ah, I see the new one. No, this happened faster than I was expecting. The, got a golden quartz Scoted. Yeah, they went down fast, that's for certain. Alright, and we got a normal attack buff. How long does this last for? Oh, it goes for 30 minutes, apparently. Nice. Yeah, players are always going to try to want to get get gear and items as quickly as they can.
Trial start. PSE burst. Success.
Now, from what I understand, there is also a new arms refiner type available in here. But it also apparently has a really low drop rate. And that kind of matches something else that I've seen. We'll head back into town before we finish here. But it is something to bring up that they do drop from here.
PSE climax.
It's also interesting that out of region bosses are showing up here, but at the same time, yeah, if this is where dolls are being created, it also makes sense. Come to think of it, I don't think I've seen any altars in here yet. Which I suppose would make sense if this place is just for the dolls.
PSE encore.
Another encore. I'll take it. Oh, it's interesting that you would switch places during the day and night. But that makes sense if you also want to get altars in. No, but I will say there are hints of a mothership in play. What that means at this point, we really don't know, though.
PSE climax.
With everything that we've learned here, I'm definitely going to be combining that into my next Secrets episode. Granted, that one might be a bit shorter than prior ones have been, since there haven't been as many huge discoveries as there have been in the past. Certainly we've learned a lot since coming into the area. But aside from my quad engine theory and a couple of other things, nothing else has really necessarily caught my eye just yet. Okay, looks like the bombs are gone here. Blue ones, huh? Okay, and those are, I guess, distracting targets that blow up on the dolls. So, if this is where dolls are being manufactured, why are those here? Also, it's interesting. This seems to be a different wing of that plant, because I don't see where we could go down to where Dark Falls was. This seems to be the highest point around here. Yeah, I'm just looking around trying to make whatever observations I can. We do have some tanks over here that are blue in color. What do we have inside? Okay, these look like Didals. Okay, we got an orc up.
Trial start. Success. Trial start. Success. Trial start. Success.
Yeah, these things don't seem to have a name on them. They're just available.
Trial start. Success. Trial start.
Okay, as somebody that loves the music in these games, I would hope that I would have picked up on this sooner. But I apparently haven't. What do you mean by Doll's motive?
Success.
Are you talking about the instruments that are being used? Is there something in the melody that you're calling the motif?
Trial start.
Okay, I'll have to listen for that.
Success.
Enemy presence detected. Please be careful.
Actually, if anything, I'm hearing, episode 6
start.
motifs in here. Except they're like in major instead of minor. What is it called? It's the one during the urgent quest in episode 6 where it's in the 3 phases. It's that song that's at the end. That's basically the final song of the urgent quest when you're flying around in the AIS Vega. Let me go ahead and Oh, hey, Rooks.
I really appreciate your support.
Success.
Ah, now we got an elite now. Elite Quartz Skoden.
Trial start.
It's interesting. It seems like its nose is already broken when it comes out. Unless I'm just missing that it's getting broken quickly. Yeah, I would say definitely
Success.
some kind of connection could exist. Because I also remember the Gigantics theme once you get to the second phase, I think there was also a motif from the Lumimechs in there.
Trial start.
Let's take this thing out to pop the burst.
PSE burst. Success.
Yeah, that would be my guess on that, Xander. Yeah, that's true. This thing is not talking to us. Would be interesting if it was.
PSE climax. PSE encore.
And of course, my question becomes, why is it even in here if it's not a Dolls? It's like the only non-Dolls enemy in here. Especially when they already have a perfectly good next Alio. Well, I think that kind of goes to show how rushed this game was at the start.
PSE Climax.
No, I haven't noticed that. What do you mean I get teleported to a different map? I thought it was just adding stuff, into the area. I guess let me keep an eye on this for the next time.
Trial start. PSE burst.
Oh, we've already got another burst here.
Success. PSE Climax.
Alright, Elite Nilstia. I seem to be in the same spot, so I'm not really seeing the teleport you're talking about. Hey, congrats, Rooks. Ah, okay. It's still interesting that we got these blue tanks around here, because typically blue would be more associated with the color of purified photons, while red or purple ones would be more corrupted ones. But it's possible that may not have anything to do with what's going on here.
This is an emergency transmission.
Okay, how did this thing even get in here? Or better, why is it even here? I think that'll probably be good for me after this trial and possible burst.
PSE burst.
Eliminated. Good work.
Success.
That's right. I think the song I was talking about before was called All Arcs. I'm hearing that phrase, All Arcs. Gotcha. I'll need to give it a few more listens. Nice job trapping it.
PSC Encore. PSC Climax.
Yeah, so we just get all kinds of bosses in here. Yeah, I can see how useful this place is. Alright, I think that's good enough for now. Let's head back to Sia Camp. Alright, so heading over to the item lab here.
Hello.
So we do have an exchange enhancement materials. If we go under other enhancement materials, we can see the new Arms Refiner 2. But the thing is that you can only get 2 of them per week per account. And so the only other way to get them would be by grinding that place out. To get what you need in order to power up your weapons and armor. In my case, I already went ahead and purchased these, and then...
Goodbye.
I've actually already got my gear at that point, where they're all plus 60, and the way I did that was actually I had some spare level 60 grind limit breaks available, so that basically made it easier for me to just get them leveled up. And of course you can buy that off the personal shop. Last I checked though, which was last night, I noticed that their price had effectively doubled from like, it was like 1.75 or something like that million, and then when I went to look last night, they had gone up to like 4 million or something like that. So yeah, those that kind of knew what was going on, if you had the money, or rather the Meseta, you would have gotten a great deal on it compared to hopping in now and with that price increase. Let me see if I did happen to get any, though, in that run. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I actually did get a bunch here. Okay, cool. Alright. Now, there have also been a few other updates to the game aside from the new area and the story. The Trinitas did get updated, but one of the problems is that the Kuklosiat weapons have not received a similar update. So it's like, yeah, you can grind them up to be plus 60, but they're really not that much more powerful. And frankly, it's kind of, with the way that place is supposed to be, you're supposed to bring this kind of weapon in order to reduce damage by half. So these weapons really need an update before it would make sense to actually go back in there. And plus, I'm not sure if there are even been any updates to the augments that you can get in there. If it's just the Tria stuff, then that stuff is kind of out of date at this point. Let's see. I'm just really quickly skimming through just to see what else there was. Yeah, they made some changes to, like, the descriptions of the battle triggers, the old ones, where it was the regional ones. Let's see. And then they made a bunch of changes to the user interface. Yeah, and then they also changed the block allocation system, which, you know, as somebody that would like to be able to at least introduce my my show in relative quiet, that kind of change doesn't really mesh well with that idea. I'm gonna have to find even like sneakier spots to kind of intro the show in, or at least maybe start in a photo room going forward or something like that. But yeah, that's kind of all that there is in terms of this update. Now, like I said, I'm going to be combining this stream with the prior stream, or if you're watching on YouTube, after the stream, I've already done this. But basically, to combine the two streams together in order to effectively eliminate the crashing issue I was having from the show. But yeah, so let me just verify one thing real quick here, because I don't think it's going to be next week, although it could be. It really depends upon what Sega's planning to do here, but the next real big thing here is going to be Darkfall's Aegis. And we know that that is taking place in Halfia Lake. So that's going to be a fun battlefield to go into. In fact, let's just hop over there real quick. Yeah, because there was always the question of what was going to happen in this area. It's all this fog here. Let me fix that real quick here. Okay, actually the fog is clearing up already. Yeah, so there was always the question of what was going to be in this area. It was originally released as an area for level 60 characters, which, you know, we didn't get to level 60 until Kavaris, but given how Sega had to change their plans, they probably still expected players to be level 60 when we first came here. Or rather, when we first got to Stia. But as it is right now, we still don't really know anything about this area aside from what's going on up there. This place is basically directly underneath whatever the... well, I've been calling it a subspace vehicle platform, but we really won't know until the day finally comes that Sega actually says something about it. And then we've got these spots in the ground under the water here. We don't know what these are for yet either. They've always had water rippling from them. So, I wonder if these will play a part in the battle with Dark Falls Aegis. But the other thing is, I wonder if this area is ever going to become a battle area. And the reason I ask that is because at launch, we were able to effectively hear what the battle music for this area was. And the way to do it was basically to grab an enemy from Resolve Forest over there, drag them, or rather, basically drag them near the wall of the area, cross over into Halffield Lake, and then effectively disconnect yourself from the internet. And doing that is how you would trigger the battle music, so that it would last more than a second or two. I haven't tried it in a while, so I don't know if that still works or not. I did that around launch time, so that was about 2 years ago at this point. Or 1.5 years, actually. But yeah. So, we'll see kind of how this battle goes. We know at least that it's likely Dark Falls Aegis is going to suck us into a subspace bubble at some point, given that they start to use the same that same move that they did that the original Dark Falls did at the start of its battle. But who knows if that's going to be like a phase 2 or something else. But yeah. So this is kind of the next stop for us, and it's going to be interesting to go through that battle and see what the outcome of that is. I will say I will be extremely disappointed if we get to the end of the battle and Crawford is basically just saying something like, "It didn't work." Like, we do our assault on it, and yet nothing changes. So, I guess we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today. So, got a bit more story, got a new battle area. And yeah, we'll see how the battle with Dark Falls Aegis goes very soon. Aside from that, we got a new NGS headline tomorrow, so I'll definitely be on for that. And aside from that, that's it. So, with all that said, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.